The hardest assignment. Marco lived in a constant state of low-grade dread. His fear was not of the world's challenges, but of his own desk. He was a university student with a major thesis due, a massive undertaking that promised a guaranteed path to a good career. Yet, he spent his days in a cycle of avoidance, scrolling through endless feeds, napping when he should be researching, and making elaborate meals to avoid writing. His fear stemmed from his laziness. He knew the deadline was approaching like a speeding train, and his inaction had placed him in a catastrophic situation. He was afraid of the shame of failure, the disappointment of his family, and the lost potential. He was, quite literally, without power against his own sloth. One night, sitting among his clutter, too tired to sleep but too anxious to work, he found a note his grandmother had tucked into his backpack, containing the translated verses. He read the line that felt custom-made for him. He gives power to the weak, and to those who have no might he increases strength. Isaiah 40 verse 29. Marco realized he was the weak, the one who had no might against his own bad habits. He wasn't weak from overwork, he was weak from avoidance. His flesh and heart had failed him, but the next verse offered a profound hope. But God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. The messages weren't a demand for him to instantly become productive. They were an offer of supernatural strength to overcome his self-imposed inertia. He saw the ultimate promise, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Marco didn't suddenly jump up and write 50 pages. Instead, he made a tiny, scared commitment. He read the verse again, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he shall sustain you," and he mentally cast the overwhelming burden of the entire thesis onto his refuge. His first action was small. He opened his laptop and committed to reading one single research article. When the urge to open a social media tab hit, he gripped the verse, "Fear not, for I am with you." The presence of that strength didn't remove the struggle, but it provided the sustaining power to sit there, quiet the internal noise, and do the necessary, tedious work. He learned that God's strength wasn't a reward for being busy. It was a gift for the weak who finally decide to take the first step toward the light. Marco finished the article, then another. He broke the huge task into tiny, manageable steps, and in the space where his paralyzing fear used to reside, a disciplined, quiet resolve took root. He finished the thesis just in time, not through a last-minute miracle of his own making, but by the steady, upholding strength that had delivered him from the greatest obstacle of all, himself.